The MicroMuse episode 14. It's Vicky Quinn Fraser from Moxie Books here, and today I am going to briefly share with you 7 things I wish I'd known 13 years ago when I started all of these shenanigans. Hi. Okay, so yeah, I've been a book coach and a writer and an author. Well, I've been a writer my whole life, but I've been an author for a very long time now and a professional writer since 2012. I guess that's when I started my business. And I've been a book coach for 8 or so years since then. And so I thought it would be useful to share the 7 truths that I have learned over the past 13 years about writing nonfiction books, writing generally, but particularly about writing nonfiction books. So let's go. Number 1, traditional publishing is not the be all and end all here. I think we think that we need to be validated all the time, and external validation is a thing. Like, we are all human and we do need other people to say to us, yeah, you're cool. It's really useful to have external validation, particularly when we're thinking through our ideas and deciding what we think about things and learning new stuff. Like, we can't do all of that. We can't do all of that alone. And even though we are kind of told we shouldn't need any of that external validation. We do. We just do. But we don't want to rely on it too much, right? It's nice to get positive feedback, of course, but we've got this idea that we think we've made it only if we get validated by someone in charge. And so I was obviously really delighted when Audible approached me to write That's What She Said. And if Penguin came knocking on my door, I would absolutely bite their hand off. But we really need to ditch this snobbery about self-publishing. And I do as well, because sometimes I still catch myself thinking or saying, oh, yeah, I'm an author, I've written books. Oh, they're only self-published. No, none of that. Writing a book is an amazing achievement, and it's not only self-published. Some of the best books have come out of self-publishing. Some of the most successful books have come out of self-publishing. Many traditionally published books will sell next to no copies. Some of them are objectively bad. And another truth is that many self-published books will sell thousands and thousands of copies, even millions. And some of them are absolutely incredible. It's not necessarily a marker of what's good and what's bad and what's worthy and what is not worthy. You don't need a father figure in a publishing house to give you permission to publish and pat you on the head and say, yes, that's fine. Go and write what you want to write. And if nobody else wants to publish it for you, publish it yourself. That is valid and it's wonderful. Somebody somewhere will be grateful that you did that. Second truth. Changing people's lives is better for me than selling millions and millions of books. Obviously, I would love to sell millions and millions of copies of my book and change lives. It's possible to do that. People like James Clear have done that with his book Atomic Habits. I do love that book. I know that some people don't like it. I do. But I also know that my self-published books, which have sold nowhere near as many copies as James Clear, I know that they've changed people's lives as well. And I know that because people have got in touch with me and told me. And that is, for me, a really good measure of success, because I am not expecting to make a living from selling books alone. That's very unlikely to happen. There's much more to it than that, and I'll come to that in a moment. But like, a really amazing measure of success for me and really important to me is, has my book made a positive difference in someone's life? Because that will then help to lead on to the next thing, which is the third truth that I wanted to share with you. It's not the book itself that will make you all of the money, probably. A nonfiction book can be an incredible introduction to you and your skills. And I've worked with so many clients who have read my book first, and then they've come to me to work with me in a private capacity, because they now know who I am, what I stand for, how I work. And that's work, by the way, to the tune of hundreds of thousands of pounds over the years. So I don't have to sell a bazillion copies to everybody in the world. It doesn't have to make it to the New York Times bestseller list, although obviously that would be amazing. I just have to sell enough copies to the types of people that I would really like to work with and who would find the kind of work that I do really valuable. That's what I want to be focusing on, is like, not the book sales, although obviously book sales are important. It's whose hands am I getting those books into, and then how can I help them, and how can they maybe want to work with me afterwards. That's where the real value is in writing a book, is the long tail, or the real monetary value in writing a book. Fourth truth, the rules are all made up. They really are. It's like every rule everywhere. We can break those rules. So the traditional publishing industry still kind of makes the rules, like who is allowed to get published and why and how long the book is and what it should contain and what it should look like and sound like and be. And that's fine. There's a formula that they know works and they stick to it. But that's not the only way of doing things. Other things may work too. There's not only one way to write a book, there's not only one way to publish a book, there's not only one way for a book to look and feel and sound. There are other ways too, and those ways are at least as valid, equally valid. So who says a book has to be 80,000 words? What if, 50,000 of those words are boring filler that make you want to throw the book in the bin? I have definitely read books like that, and I'm sure you have as well. And I think that part of the fault lies with the publishing industry and the contracts that say you are contracted to write 80,000 words. And so the author's like, oh, I kind of maybe don't have that much to say, but they have to. And so that's when it ends up being filler or thinly disguised sales pitch. Just fluff, and that's a real shame. So why not write a micro book instead, and change someone's life real quick, or create a picture book or an A to Z of tomatoes and how to grow and eat them. I'm currently obsessed with growing tomatoes. Truth number 5: you don't need 6 months and a cabin in the woods to write a book. 20 minutes a day will get it done. I think the dream is to be like, I'm just going to shut off the world for a month and go and live in a cabin in the middle of nowhere and just focus on writing what I want to write. I mean, that would be amazing, right? But how many of us can actually do that? We don't need to do that. And that concept was a real game changer for me, because if you've got 20 minutes a day, even if you've got 10 minutes a day, yes, it will take longer to write your book, but you can still do it. And I think we have this all or nothing mentality, like, oh, if I can't spend the whole day today working on my book, then there's no point. And an illustration of this is the other day when I knew I didn't have time to do my full workout at the gym, my full arm day. And past me, and sometimes probably future me, he would have been like, oh, I haven't got time to do the full workout. There's no point in going. But I went and I did half the workout and got my deadlifts in and felt really good about it. And so we make that same mistake with writing as well, I think. It's like, it's kind of a all or nothing. If we can't spend the whole day or 2 hours or 1 hour, then it's not worth doing. But if you've got 15 minutes and you're doom scrolling, wouldn't it be better to spend that 15 minutes making a few notes on the book that you want to write? I know the answer to that is rhetorical. Yes. So this is the way that a book gets written, in tiny, tiny beetle steps. If you only get 100 words done today, or if you only get a concept sorted out in your mind today, that's a win. That's really valuable. Tiny beetle steps will get you there. Truth number 6, writing doesn't necessarily mean typing. So if you're not a writer and you hate sitting your butt in a chair and being stuck and like, hello, that's me, a lot of my clients, you don't have to sit and hammer away at a keyboard. You can use you've got so many tools now. You can use voice notes to record and then get it transcribed by AI, a good use of AI. Get it to transcribe your notes and remove filler words and tidy them up, or doodle them, or collage them, or have a conversation with somebody like, the ancient Greeks used to do the dialogues. Have a conversation with somebody and record that. That can be an incredibly valuable way of writing your book. That still makes you a proper writer. Just because you're not there with your quill and your parchment or your old-fashioned typewriter, those are all valid, but it doesn't have to be the only way we write. Final truth, number 7. 7? Yeah, 7 fingers. I don't need to hang on to the outcome. And this, again, was another massively valuable lesson that I learned, possibly the most valuable one of them all. That, like, I really love it when people tell me that they love something that I've written or that I've made them laugh. And part of the reason I do stand-up comedy is because of that instant kind of feedback and gratification, like, oh, that's funny, people are laughing. And it makes me feel warm and fuzzy, and it's really, really cool. And, if I sell a bunch of copies of my book, then that's also awesome. It's like, yes, it makes me a bit of money, but it's like, oh, people want my stuff. But if that's my goal, I will never write anything, because for every 10 people who love what I write, somebody will hate it and other people will be indifferent, and they might write to me as well. And they might write to me and tell me how shit they think I am and how rubbish they think my book is. And if I allow those people to dictate the terms that I write, as well as, the other people who love what I do, then I'm never going to write anything new. And so same with selling books. I can't control what happens after I've finish writing and put it out there. But if I hang on to what people think of my writing or how many people are going to buy my book, those are things that I have zero control over, and that's going to stop me. So I let go of the outcome and it requires practice. It's difficult to do, but like let go of it. Write for the reason that you want to write for. Have your audience in mind for sure. Very important. Like, what do you want to say and why do you want to say it, and how is this going to help them? But ultimately, write it, test it, try something new. And this is why writing for social media and writing for your email list is really, really important, because a lot of the ideas that end up in my books started out as a shorter idea on social media or in my emails. So write, test stuff, put it out there as a gift and let it know. Like, I have let it go. I've created this thing with love, and now I've made it for you, and here you go. And I don't expect anything in return. It's just out there, and what happens next is not really up to me. So try it. Try that, iterate, try again. And if people love it, then that's amazing. That's a gift to you and it's lovely. But it's not guaranteed. So just keep going. So we have to keep going. We have to just keep creating, keep writing, because that's how we improve, that's how we learn, and that's how we grow our businesses ultimately. That's how we grow our books as well. I like the idea of growing a book rather than writing a book, growing it organically. So I hope these things have helped a little bit if you're thinking of writing a book. I also hope that you do this thing. 5-minute takeaway. Remember, there are no rules when it comes to writing a book. The gatekeepers don't have to gatekeep you. You don't have to allow that to happen. So I would like you to set a timer for 5 minutes and write about your book idea. There, you have started. Congratulations. Isn't that exciting? And you can find out more and follow me at moxiebooks.co.uk/freebies to join my mailing list, which you absolutely should, because, like I said, we have no control over social media, and all the good stuff is on my email list. So you should definitely come and join that. And if you are ready to start writing and build a writing practice and build a writing habit and a writing rhythm, then I would like to invite you to come and join my creative playground. I have 2 spots left for this summer intake, because I've had 3 new people join, which is great. And yeah, you can go to moxiebooks.co.uk/creative playground, creative-playground. I will put the link below here. But yeah, you can try out the group for just £1 for the first 7 days. We would love to meet you. That is all for this episode of the MicroMuse. I will be back same time next week.